Hello everyone and welcome. Dawn here. Glad you could join the Whimsy Stamps video hop. This one is called Cubed Christmas Hop and Giveaway. We're so excited you could join us for this hop. To start, I just want to let you know that the next stop on the hop is listed in the description below. Each stop in the hop is sharing a project featuring the Whimsy Stamps Cubed Die Set, plus a few other products that I'll cover throughout the video. I'm going to go over the details in the hop a little later on, but for now, let's get started. The cube die set includes 5 dies. It comes with a long die that is 8 inches long by 1.5 inches tall. And then it has 4 single dies. The smallest is approximately 1 and 1.5 inches, and the largest is approximately 1 3/4 inches by 2.5 inches. First, I'm going to stamp my background. Since this is a pretty big stamp, I'm going to use my Misty stamping tool. I take out the foam insert because the stamp is so thick. I place a 5x7 piece of white cardstock in the Misty. I use some removable tape to hold it in place. I'm using the Whimsy Stamps Farmhouse Shiplap background stamp. I cover it with some Distress Oxide frayed burlap ink and press down to give it a good impression. Because the stamp isn't big enough to cover the whole 5x7 paper, I take the paper out of the Misty and put a little ink on just the top of the stamp. I need about 1 inch more. Then I just lay the paper on top of the stamp and press down. As you can see, it gives you a really nice impression. Next, I'm going to use the Whimsy Stamps Stained Glass Window Die Set to die cut a frame to make a window. I tape 2 of the frames together, one bigger than the other, and I die cut it from a piece of white cardstock, and then I just set it aside for later. I take another piece of white cardstock cut to 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, and I'm going to ink blend a sky background using Distress Oxide Faded Jeans. While I do this, I'm going to tell you a little more about the hop. Make sure to hop along to each stop in the hop for a chance to win a $25 gift card to the Whimsy Stamps online shop sponsored by Whimsy Stamps. One winner will be chosen at random via a YouTube random comment picker, so be sure to leave a comment. The winner will be listed on the Whimsy Stamps YouTube channel in the description box of the Whimsy Stamps Cubed Christmas Hop and Giveaway. Okay, so now I'm bringing in some Distress Oxide Chipped Sapphire to just go around the edges to make it a little darker and to also smooth out the faded jeans color. I want to have it look like snow is falling, and I didn't feel like taking out my white paint, so I'm using my Ranger white enamel accent. I just put a drop down and then put some water on my paintbrush. I mixed it up and then just tap my paintbrush over the cardstock until I have the desired look that I want, and then I'll just set that aside to dry for a little bit. Using some Distress Oxide frayed burlap, I just go around the whole frame with a light hand and I ink blend it. I didn't want the window frame to be too dark. That's why I chose this color. Next, I'm using the Whimsy Stamps Decorated Tree Die Set. I can't seem to get enough of this set. It has to be one of my favorite die sets that Whimsy Stamps has come out with. I've used it for so many of my Christmas cards this season already. Anyhow, I take 3 of the layers of the tree and I cut them from green cardstock. I want to add some shading to them. I find it best to pick a darker color than you would normally use because once it dries, it ends up being lighter than you thought it would be. I'm using an evergreen color and I'm basically just going around all the edges of the tree pieces and concentrating on making them darker than the middle of the tree. I just keep adding color until I have the desired look that I want. I die cut the bucket from white cardstock and then I ink blended it with some Distress Oxide gathered twigs, and then I used the Distress Oxide walnut stain to just go around the edges to make them darker. Now that my background is dry, I take the window frame and I cut the background down to fit behind the window frame. You could use the bigger window die to cut out the background, but I thought this was just as easy. I take the reindeer from the Santa Sneak die set and I cut it from black cardstock. I want it to look like he's sneaking in the dark, dropping off his presents. I stamped my mouse from the Whimsy Stamps No Peeking Mice stamp set with a black Copic-friendly ink, and I colored it in off screen since there wasn't much to color. Now I take 3 of the cubes and I die cut them from craft cardstock, and since I wanted to distress the boxes a little bit, I had to put them together first. I couldn't just glue them on my card, and I didn't want to do each individual piece, so what I did was, after they were all cut out, I glued them to some craft cardstock and put all the pieces together. And then I used my scissors to just fussy cut them out. This made it so much easier to ink blend them, plus it added some dimension to them so they didn't need to have any foam tape on the back of them. So all I did was take some Distress Oxide walnut stain and go around all the edges of the boxes just to give them a little bit of shading. And then I die cut some of the bows from red cardstock and I set them aside for later. I wanted it to look like the presents are wrapped in ribbon, so I cut small strips of red cardstock. You can make the ribbon as small or as wide as you want. Then I put a piece on top of the box and I cut off the excess. And then I put some pieces down each side of the box and then another one across the top of the box. And then I cut off all of the excess. And I do all 3 packages the same way. I cut out some ornaments from red cardstock, and then I start to assemble my card. I adhere the window frame to the sky background. I glue all of the bows onto the tops of the boxes. I adhere the window to the right side of the card, and then I adhere the tree bucket to the card. I take the widest piece of the tree and I attach it on top of the tree bucket. Then I take the next biggest tree piece and put it next. And then finally I put the smallest tree piece on top. I adhere my reindeer silhouette so it looks like he's sneaking from behind the tree. I adhere one of the boxes under the tree. And then I adhere one box on the right side of the card. And then I glue my mouse so it looks like he's peeking from behind the presents. And I adhere the last box in front of the other 2. Using my silver Jelly Roll pen, I color the tops of the ornaments so it looks like where the ornaments hang from the tree. While I like how they look with the silver top, I think next time I would use my gold pen since I did use a gold tree topper and gold garland. I die cut the garland and star tree topper from gold metallic cardstock. And then I adhere all the ornaments and the garland to the tree and the star to the top of the tree. I stamp the word No Peeking with a black Copic-friendly ink, and then I die cut it using my brother's Scan and Cut, but you can easily fussy cut it out. Then I colored it with my lipstick red Copic marker, and I adhere it to the card with some foam tape. To finish off the card, I take my Wink of Stella pen and I color the No Peeking sentiment, the mouse's hat, all of the ornaments, and the ribbon on all of the 3 presents. To make his hat look like there's fur on it, I put some Ranger white enamel accent on the trim and the pom-pom. I adhere my card front to a piece of cardstock cut to 7 by 10, and then I scored it at 5 inches. And that will complete my card for today. Be sure to leave a comment below for a chance to win the $25 gift certificate, and don't forget to click on the link in the description to hop on over to the next stop. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any new product releases and great inspirational videos. Thanks for stopping by and have yourself a wonderful day.